Yeah, it's blended with another banger. We're talking about NBA Youngboy, the Gravedigger General, who's wrestling with the authorities after his latest arrest as they allege he's running a drug ring for illegally trying to obtain codeine cough syrup while using the identities of other people. I made a video about the details of that operation and some of the schemes that he attempted to obtain his lien, and I'll link it below in the description. We also break down lyrics that may have been used against Youngboy during this investigation. But now, let's hear a news clip of them discussing Youngboy's possible return to his hometown of Baton Rouge, and we'll follow up with the impact that this may have beyond the courtroom.
NBA Youngboy will be forced to explain his arrest in Utah. The rapper was out on bond for a federal gun charge here in the capital city, but was allowed to live in Utah until his trial. As part of a pretrial release agreement, the rapper was told to stay out of trouble or his bond would be revoked. We're learning that his latest arrest in Utah means he may have violated that agreement. Investigators said several of Gaulden's associates tricked pharmacists in Utah into filling phony prescriptions. The judge here in Baton Rouge learned that the rapper was arrested in Utah and is now setting a date to allow him to explain himself. Without a good explanation, the rapper could be told he must remain in custody until trial. In total, Gaulden is facing 63 new charges tied to that arrest in Utah. Among them were 20 counts of identity fraud under $5,000, 20 counts of procuring or attempting to procure a drug or prescription, and another 20 counts of forgery. That's all on top of the federal gun charge he was already hit with.
The weapons charge that Youngboy is awaiting trial for that had him on house arrest stems from a music video shoot in his hometown of Baton Rouge when the police came and searched him and his crew and found a stash of weapons. Youngboy has a reason to be armed as he rules the Baton Rouge streets with a ruthless militant group titled 4KT, which he is the head of. NBA Youngboy would only turn more ruthless as a child when his manager and best friend, NBA Dump, or Big Dump, was tragically slaughtered on the streets of Baton Rouge. Big Dump was spending time with family and friends outside on Friday, just before 6 p.m. when a vehicle pulled up, letting off shots. The shots ended up taking his life in a nearby hospital when he succumbed to his injuries, and the woman next to him ended up surviving. This tragic loss would send Youngboy's heart plunging into darkness as rage and revenge filled his soul. NBA Youngboy will continue to release music and dominate the Baton Rouge streets with his 4KT soldiers. The men responsible for this hit were members of the TBG gang, the Top Boy Guerrilla Gang, ran by Fredobang. Before we introduce the shooters of Big Dump, we're gonna hear Fredobang brag about their work in the streets on a song called Body Bag.
Hoes and messing niggas, TBG, we special niggas. Quick be out his mind and yo shit creeping like a caterpillar. Put one in the dirt, I know you niggas feeling kinda bitter. We ain't span kids, need a killer man, a babysitter.
On the hook, Fredobang says, pull up on the op, we gon' dump the whole clip, and you know I keep a stick. F a rap beef, I'm about a body bag of itch. When he says we gon' dump the whole clip, that's a clear symbolism for Big Dump. And he says F a rap beef, I'm about a body bag, which means that he's not with the dissing back and forth. He's going to kill you. He says TBG, we stretch them, which means to take them out. He then proceeds to shout out his shooters, Boulevard Quick, who has since passed due to the 4KT beef, and Lit Yoshi, TBG's top enforcer. TBG and its associates will ruthlessly mock the death of Big Dump, but we're gonna focus on the raps of Lit Yoshi, TBG's top enforcer, who Youngboy might come face to face with as he returns to Louisiana if the judge says that he violated the terms of his pretrial release.
Running like your homies, I'm just accent. Walked down in his hood, he was lacking. I walked down on that car, it was nasty. They be folding under pressure, they be capping. But on that gram, they real killers, I be laughing.
We just heard Lit Yoshi allude to the murder of Big Dump, and also to a separate shooting he committed where he fired into an occupied vehicle, injuring children. He also did a video which included a toy truck mocking Big Dump. Lit Yoshi is currently incarcerated for a string of shootings. Fredobang would allegedly put money on Big Dump's head from jail, while his best friend G Money, a rapper out of Baton Rouge, was killed viciously after a recording session outside of a studio. And 4KT has claimed ownership of that hit. NBA Youngboy would also mention having a conversation with Fredobang, the man who ordered the hit on Big Dump. Fredobang would mention in an interview with Vlad TV that he did have a phone call with Youngboy. NBA Youngboy mentions in the song Rest in Peace Dump, he cannot diss cause he dead now, F him. I admit I'm a gangster but you ain't worth it. So he's dissing G Money, and he's saying that knocking out Fredobang is not worth it. So we understand that NBA Youngboy is facing legal troubles at the moment with feds and with the state of Utah. So it's clear that putting a hit on somebody right now would not be the best idea. We'll see if NBA Youngboy cross paths with the TBG top enforcer Lit Yoshi, who is currently incarcerated in Baton Rouge. And if Youngboy gets sent back to Baton Rouge, there are odds that he will cross paths with the triggerman himself that took out Big Dump. The other individual involved in the drill that took out Big Dump, Boulevard Quick, was already taken out by 4KT associates allegedly, after he was dissing NBA Youngboy and mocking the death of Big Dump online. So we know that NBA Youngboy is willing to put action behind the retribution for Big Dump. We'll be covering the latest in the 4KT versus TBG war, and we'll see if Youngboy returns back to his hometown to seek vengeance, or if Youngboy fights through the legal system and returns back to the streets to take over the rap game once again and go after the top dog of TBG, Fredobang. That was another Blender Bars banger. Click the screen for another video. Nobody bigger than the chat. I'm out.
All that he said was watch the